Hello, friends, and thank you so much for choosing to hang out with me today. In today's episode, we are going to be doing another beginner's guide episode with a focus on sinking funds. Now, I did do a sinking funds video of like what sinking funds are previously, so if you want to check that out, it is in the playlist linked above. This is going to be more of a focus on which sinking fund should you choose for yourself to get yourself started. So, we are going to first get into what sinking funds are. Really, a sinking fund is just a place that you are putting money away for a later date. So we as cash stuffers, we have envelopes, and they don't have to be these fancy binders or these envelopes. You can literally just use paper envelopes as you get started. I'm a big believer that you shouldn't spend money to save money. You should save money and then buy things on my store if you want cute functional items for your cash stuffing journey. But I don't think that you should be spending money up front to learn how to save money. You know, that for me that doesn't make much sense. But for me personally, I have a couple of binders that are sinking funds. So I have my, is this my short term or my long term? This is my long term. So I have my long term sinking funds, my short term sinking funds. I have a savings challenge that is a whole binder, and I have my savings challenges as well as my cash wallet. So this is my wallet that I take with me every time I leave the house. This is a place where I have two sinking funds that are specific for every week use. So I have groceries and I have buffer in here. So every week I take money out of the bank and I put them in these two envelopes. This is my most reoccurring sinking fund because it is updated weekly and it comes with me everywhere I go. And then following that, we have our short-term sinking funds, which are sinking funds that are for things that you're probably going to use within like the next couple of months. So like things like clothing. For me, I'm a content creator, so I have an envelope for that. Saving up for Costco, because those Costco runs, you know, they can be very expensive. For your kids, for your animals, for future gifts, stuff like that. So gifts technically probably should be in long term, but because it happens every couple of months with the birthdays that I have in my family, that's why it's in my short term. Home, and then main character, which is just myself. And home right now is saving for a dryer and a washing machine. Eventually that'll be more for like just home stuff that is like renovations and stuff, and then that folder will be moved into my long term. And then these are long term. Sinking funds are fun because they can be completely conventional, like a rainy day or an emergency envelope, or they can be completely non-conventional and be like BookBus and BookBabes, which are completely unique to me. These are sinking funds that I am saving for. BookBabes is just a creator who makes really, really cool Halloween inspired book shirts, like book theme shirts, and I love them. And every year I get some, but every year it's a stab to my wallet because it's in American, so I'm paying the conversion rate, and then also I get like 4 or 5 of them and it's like $170. But I'm saving for that for next year to be smarter about my finances. So those are the kind of sinking funds, and then we do also have savings challenges, which realistically are just sinking funds that are just funner because you're doing little games like rolling the dice, or you're just putting money away, or you're coloring in savings challenges. So these are really just another version of a sinking fund, just in a different type of format. And then this is my high five sinking fund, which is on my store, which is a long-term sinking fund because we're saving $1,150. Okay, enough shameless promo for myself. Let's talk about some of the fundamental sinking funds I think that you should start with in your cash stuffing journey. First things first, we want to take care of emergency. So we want to always have money put away just in case, right? And I think that this is probably the number one envelope that you should start with, is start putting money away just in case. You never know what's going to happen. And to even have $150 in emergency is like a relief compared to having nothing, right? And even if you're putting $5 in every couple of weeks, it's gonna grow. So emergency is number one, I would say. We're gonna do 4 primaries, I think. That should kind of cover everything when it comes to traditionally Like, if you were to Google which envelopes should I start with for sinking funds, these would probably fall under them. So emergency, car or transportation. Okay, so for car, if you have a car, cars need maintenance. They need oil changes, tire rotations, new winter tires. Sometimes things happen with cars, with like sensors and stuff. So always having money in savings for that kind of stuff is great. Transportation, if you're taking Ubers, or if you have like a C train ticket, which here in Alberta our trains are called C trains, or a bus pass or whatever, you can start putting money away slowly. So in a couple of months, maybe you'll just be able to buy your bus pass straight out from your sinking fund. Number 3 is kids. I have one sinking fund, and that is for my son, and that is for anything that Daniel needs. So diapers, clothing, toys, wipes, whatever would be purchased for him comes out of that envelope. And then finally, we have pets. Pets cost money, food, vet bills, stuff like that. So it's always good to put some away for later for pets. So now that we kind of have our 4 core, and there's probably more. So if you think of another one that you think that everybody should be saving for, comment it down below, because I want to build up this community to be a place where people can come and find answers, as well as become educated in this cash stuffing journey, because it is a little overwhelming. There's a lot of different terms, like sinking funds, for example, that you got to kind of get under your belt when you are deciding to become a cash envelope person. Now that you have your key sinking funds, let's go ahead. I'm not going to do it here because it would take forever, but I challenge you to go into your bank, go back to the beginning of the year. We're in November, so it's good, or well, we're in October. You might see this in November. I'm recording it in October. We are going to take a look and see, sorry, just one second. Sorry, I had to step away for a quick second and I don't remember what I was talking about. So if I'm repeating myself or I've completely lost the plot, I apologize. So we've got our 4 main sinking funds here. I think I was saying that I want you to go back to your bank and look through your spending. The way you're going to be able to build your sinking funds is to figure out what your spending habits are. If you're somebody who enjoys a Starbucks coffee, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. That would be a sinking fund maybe you'd put in your wallet, because it'd be a more weekly thing, so you can pull out cash, so you have money set aside for your coffees. Maybe you enjoy going to HomeSense and Marshalls or Home Goods and just kind of looking around and picking up some home decor stuff. Then you'd want to create an envelope for that. Maybe you have a league where you play volleyball. I don't know. Maybe you would want to put some money away for uniforms or fees. Another really good one is subscriptions. If you have subscriptions, moving to a yearly paid subscription is going to save you money in the long run. So if you created an envelope for your subscriptions, figured out how much they cost, save up, and then pay that, and then you're in a yearly subscription, and then you just kind of top that up as you go, that's another good idea. If you want to break down your home to like maybe having like a pantry envelope and a furniture envelope and an electronics envelope and stuff like that. I mean, it's all what works for you. For me, I don't really have any of that stuff, and maybe I will in the future, but for right now, those really aren't my focuses. And the thing about the sinking funds is they can change. I've changed stuff in my envelopes multiple times, and it's just because it's what works for me now. So yeah, I'm trying to think if I forgot anything, but you want to have your core, you want to have your habits. And then there was actually one thing I was going to say, and I'm trying to remember what it was. And then maybe we want to plan for the future. So maybe you're going on vacation. You have something in mind, haven't put anything away yet, but maybe you're going to Disneyland next year. Start saving for that. Start saving for flights and hotels and all of that stuff. And it can be in the form of a boring old sinking fund, or it can be in the form of a fun little savings challenge. When you finish a savings challenge, you roll that money into your vacation envelope. And then also, I want to make sure that you guys are also creating a sinking fund for yourself. So you're doing this to take care of yourself if you're single, your family, or whatever your situation is. I want to make sure that you have some sort of a treat yourself envelope. Something that is for you. It can be called whatever the heck you want to call it, but I want you to still put money away for yourself. And this is an envelope where you can spend unapologetically on whatever the heck you want. You want to save up and buy a Louis Vuitton purse? Do it. You want to save up and go on a shopping spree? Do it. You want to save up and go to the bookstore and buy as many books as you want, which is my dream? Do it. I want you to make sure that you're also saving for yourself, because savings and the cash envelope system and the stuffing and all of that stuff is meant to be fun. It's meant to train your brain to see money come and go tangibly because we're using cash, but it's also meant to be fun. That's why we have savings challenges games. That's why we have different types of things that make it our own but also make it exciting. I hope that covers everything. If there is anything that I left out, please comment it down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it educational. If you have any requests for any other beginner's guide videos, again, comment that down below. I'm here to be a source of financial education. I don't claim to be an expert. I claim to just teach you what I've learned and what works for me, and hopefully it'll translate and work for you as well. Know that I'm proud of you for even starting to think about the cash envelope system, and I hope that this gives you a little bit more insight into it. Until the next one, guys, I'll see you later. Oh, hey, can you like this video as well? And maybe share it with a friend, or if you want to see more of me, subscribe. Okay, bye.